A Roman emperor wrote this 2,000 years ago, and modern neuroscience just proved he was right about everything. About stress, about failure, about success. Here's what Marcus Aurelius knew that most people still don't understand, and how it can change your life starting today. Let's begin. Let's start with Principle 1, the Dichotomy of Control. This is foundational. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said this: "Some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are our opinion, motivation, desire, aversion. Not within our power are our body, our property, reputation, position. In other words, focus on what you can control. Let go of what you can't." Here's the modern science. Psychologist Julian called this locus of control. People with an internal locus of control focus on what they can influence. They take responsibility. Research shows these people are happier, more successful, less anxious, because they're not wasting energy on things outside their control. Covey called this the circle of influence. Focus your energy there. So how do you apply this? When something goes wrong, ask yourself, what can I control here? Your response, your attitude, your actions. That's it. You can't control what happened. You can't control other people. But you can control how you respond. And that changes everything. Here's a powerful example. James, a sales manager, was constantly stressed about his team's performance. He couldn't control their results, but he could control his training, his support, his leadership. When he shifted focus to what he could control, his stress decreased. His team's performance improved, because he was focusing his energy where it mattered. Principle 2, negative visualization. This sounds counterintuitive, but it's powerful. The Stoics practiced something called Premeditatio Malorum, imagining worst-case scenarios, not to be negative, but to appreciate what you have, to prepare mentally, to reduce fear. Here's the modern science. Research from psychologist Emmons shows that gratitude increases happiness by 25%. You appreciate things more when you contrast them with their absence. When you imagine losing what you have, you value it more. This is about appreciation through contrast, about reducing entitlement, about finding joy in what you already have. So how do you practice this? Each morning, take a moment. Imagine losing something you value, your health, your relationships, your freedom. Then open your eyes and appreciate that you have it. This shifts your perspective. It creates gratitude. It reduces taking things for granted. Principle 3, amor fati, love your fate. This is about acceptance, not passive acceptance, but active acceptance. Accepting what happens, and then making the best of it. The Stoics believed that everything happens for a reason, or at least you can find meaning in everything, even the hard stuff. Here's the modern science. Acceptance and commitment. Therapy, or ACT, is based on Stoic principles. Research shows that acceptance reduces suffering. When you fight reality, you suffer. When you accept it, you can work with it. Cognitive reframing is a proven technique, finding a different perspective, a growth perspective. So how do you practice this? When something difficult happens, instead of resisting it, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What's the opportunity here? You can accept it, and then make the best of it. Principle 4, memento mori. Remember you will die. This might sound dark, but it's actually liberating. The Stoics use death as a reminder to live fully, to prioritize what matters, to not waste time, to take action now. Here's the modern science. Research on mortality salience shows that reminding people of death increases meaning, increases purpose, motivates action. It's called terror management theory. When you're aware of your mortality, you live differently. You focus on what matters, you take action, you appreciate the present. So how do you practice this? Each day, take a moment. Remember that your time is limited, that today could be your last. This isn't about fear, it's about urgency, about meaning. Use it to prioritize, to take action, to appreciate, to be present. And Principle 5, virtue as the only good. The Stoics believed that the only true good is virtue. Character, wisdom, courage, justice. Everything else is indifferent. It can be used well or poorly, but virtue is always good. This means focus on who you're becoming, not just what you're achieving. Here's the modern science. Research shows that intrinsic motivation leads to more fulfillment than extrinsic motivation. When you focus on character, on virtue, on becoming your best self, you find deeper satisfaction. You're not dependent on outcomes. You're focused on the process, on growth. So how do you practice this? Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? What virtues do I want to embody? Then focus on that, not just on outcomes, on character, on growth. The outcomes will follow, but they're not the goal. The goal is virtue. Now here's how to apply these principles in modern life. When you face rejection, use the dichotomy of control. You can't control the rejection, but you can control your response. When you're stressed, use negative visualization. Appreciate what you have. When you face failure, use amor fati. Accept it. Learn from it. When you're procrastinating, use memento mori. Remember your time is limited. Take action now. And always, focus on virtue, on who you're becoming. Here's a daily Stoic practice you can start today. Each morning, spend 5 minutes. Review the principles. What can you control today? What are you grateful for? What will you accept? What action will you take? Then in the evening, review your day. How did you apply the principles? What did you learn? This simple practice will transform your mindset. The most successful people I know practice some form of Stoic reflection daily. It keeps them grounded, focused, resilient. Before we wrap up, let's talk about common mistakes. Mistake 1. Confusing Stoicism with emotionlessness. It's about managing emotions wisely. Mistake 2. Using it to avoid emotions. Feel them, but don't let them control you. Mistake 3. Not taking action. Stoicism requires action. Mistake 4. Perfectionism. It's about progress, not perfection. You can't control everything, but you can control your response. Focus on what you can control. Practice virtue. Live fully. If this helped, hit like and subscribe to Fainalent. Comment below. Which Stoic principle will you practice first? Share this with someone who needs it. Check the description for resources. See you next video. You've got this.